Welcome to another edition of Handicap Born Black in America, and I'm your host, Ramon Roan. This is being brought to you by Judicial Freedom Riders. We are a nonprofit organization. Please visit us at www.jfrinc.org. We are a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to make fair a corrupt justice system that's in America. The title of this message is Miss Alexander Gets Justice. As some of you may have remembered, Miss Marissa Alexander, I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, she was around the same time that George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman protested that it was stand your ground, and hey, what George Zimmerman did, in my opinion, it was murder, murdering that young man. Well, Miss Alexander was in a similar situation. Well, the situation wasn't even similar. What Miss Alexander had done was fired a warning shot, scare off her abusive husband. Now, you would think that, well, I remember back in the day that if you had a gun during sometimes Thanksgiving, but on 4th of July, Independence Day, we'd be shooting guns in the air. Instead of a firecracker, you're gonna, shoot your gun. Well, she shot a gun in the air to scare off an abusive husband. Now, most of us know that domestic violence is a real thing. And I am an advocate for women protecting themselves. I do not like when I hear about men abusing women physically and even psychologically. So here it is that she was in an abusive situation, and all she did was fire the gun. No one got hurt. No one got hurt. However, they pressed charges on her. Yeah, her husband could have protected her, but I think that he had a situation to where if he had, then they would have taken him to jail, and he didn't want to go to jail. How noble of him. Nonetheless, they tried her. They found her guilty. Now, that's another issue that John and I will probably talk about in a future video. But the jury found her guilty. They sentenced her to 20 years in prison. Nobody died. Nobody got hurt. Maybe her husband might have crapped himself when he heard the gun go off, but outside of maybe having to change your underwear, no one got hurt. And she was found guilty. Well, they sent us to a higher court. And what the higher court said, they reversed that jury's decision. And that's rare. It's rare that a higher court will reverse the jury's decision. They do not like to do that. And what's good about it is that she has a possibility of she's not out of the woods yet, but she has a possibility of getting justice. And justice is needed. This woman, to think about this, is that since the time this happened, she has been in a stressful situation. Because let me tell you something, when you are wrongfully in the criminal justice system, that's stressful. I mean, I'm wrongfully in a civil situation, and that's stressful. But could you imagine your freedom? She has 3 kids, and her freedom is being confiscated right now, because you might as well say that, look, she's incarcerated from the time they arrested her until she is totally exonerated. She's incarcerated. Yeah, I know she's not been sentenced, but if you are charged and you are going through trial and you don't know the future that you have, it's an incarceration. My prayer goes out to her and her kids and her family, and I want the best for her. I want the best outcome for her, because this is totally wrong. Laws need to be changed. And let me read what Senator Brown said. He lashed out at Florida's state attorney, Corey, who oversaw the failed prosecution of George Zimmerman and the persecution in this case, saying arresting and prosecuting her when no one was hurt does not make any sense. Well, it does make sense if you are black. That's why we're called black in America. What was certainly absent from the courtroom during Marissa's trial was mercy and justice. Indeed, the 3-year plea deal from the state attorney Angela Corey was not mercy, and a mandatory 20-year sentence is not justice. She shouldn't have to plead to nothing. That should be, the prosecution has discretion. And now, I'm not a lawyer, but you have discretion. Oh, the gun accident. What about the gun being accidentally discharged? How about that? Why not that? Accidentally discharged. No, we got to go to the full extent of the law. We got to prosecute that. You should have prosecuted George Zimmerman. George Zimmerman should be in jail right now for murder. In my opinion, he should have been on death row. That's my opinion. But see, I know what it is to be born black in America. You're handicapped because of the color of your skin. Every black man should have a handicap sticker because of the color of the President Obama should have a handicap sticker for the color of the skin. This has been your host, Ramon Rowan, another edition of Handicap Born Black in America. Let's get justice for Mrs. Marissa Alexander. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. This black woman should be free to raise her children and to go along with her, go forward with her life. May God bless you, and may God bless America.